Today I'd like to talk to you about elections, or the elections. All the controversy that's been going on over this last 2020 election, the continued argument about corruption and fraud. Well, I'm sure most of you know, but maybe some of you don't. But this is nothing new to our country. The election of 1796 had some corruption in it. The election of 1800, the election of 1824, the election of 1876, and even the election of 2000, if you all remember Gore versus Bush and the hanging chads. The point I'm trying to make is that because government is lucrative, there's always going to be someone trying to create shenanigans or try and give themselves an advantage in our electoral process, because there's monetary gain in doing that. The question is, how do you try to keep it at a minimum? Well, as you know, we used to own the newspaper in Neely from 2003 to 2016. And in the early years we bought it, we used to print ballots at the newspaper. And I had to have an accurate count or number of the ballots I printed. And that number had to correspond with the ones that got used or didn't get used. And I think that's really the way we should go back to. We should go back to counting ballots by hand. The statutes are quite clear. In Nebraska here, it says the counties, which refers to the clerk and the supervisors. Those are the ones who kind of set the direction. It refers to that they may use hand-counted ballots. So some people will argue, well, if you go back to hand-counted ballots, people have struggles when they get to the polls. The polls close at 8 o'clock, and they're trying to get to the polls and get off of work, and it's not conducive, or I would say it's just an excuse. But even if that is an excuse, why don't we address those excuses then? Why don't we have Election Day become a holiday, a state holiday? And when it comes to the precincts, according to statute, the precincts will have between 750 and 1,750 registered voters. How about if we lower that number to 1,200 registered voters and create more precincts? So if we've got a state holiday for Election Day, and we lower the number of the maximum number of registered voters per precinct, then people should have ample time to get to the ballot, to get to the polls, and cast their votes as hand-counted ballots. We never used to have machines, and we used to get it done before midnight on election night. I see no reason why we can't return to that. That at least would probably put faith back in our elections.